In this video we're going to learn how to change sums and differences to products. These are the formula that we've been using. You see on the left hand side in each case you have a sum or a difference, and on the right hand side we have a product. These formula are in our tables, but it's a good idea to write them down into our notes copy now so that they'll be there handy for us when we're using them. So let's take a look at part 4 here. So we have cos of 7 theta minus cos 5 theta. So this is a difference and we want to write it as a product. So we go back and we find which formula best matches it. So we look for the formula that has cos A minus cos B, and we write that out. So cos A minus cos B is equal to minus 2 sine A plus B over 2 sine A minus B over 2, and we just put the values into the formula. Instead of A we put in 7 theta, and instead of B we put in 5 theta. So we just fill that out. So we have the cos of 7 theta minus cos 5 theta is equal to minus 2 sine 7 theta plus 5 theta over 2 times the sine of 7 theta minus 5 theta over 2. That gives us minus 2 sine. Now 7 theta plus 5 theta is 12 theta, divided by 2 is 6 theta, times the sine of, and again 7 theta minus 5 theta is 2 theta, divided by 2 is just theta. So we started out with a difference and we've ended up with a product. Now we'll have a look at the second part of this question, so part 2. We're asked to show that this is true without using our calculator. So the sine of 10 degrees plus the sine of 80 degrees. That's the left hand side, which is what we always start with. Now again, we're looking at here sine A plus sine B, and we know that that's a sum and we can write it as a product. But before we do that, it's a good idea to write it with the biggest angle, or the bigger angle first. So the sine of 80 degrees plus the sine of 10 degrees. And then we write out the formula for sine A plus sine B, and then we have sine A plus sine B is equal to 2 sine A plus B over 2 times the cos of A minus B over 2. So now our A is our 80 degrees and our B is our 10 degrees. So we have the sine of 80 degrees plus the sine of 10 degrees is equal to 2 times the sine of A plus B over 2 times the cosine of A minus B over 2. So that gives us 2 times the sine of, now 80 plus 10 is 90 degrees, divided by 2 gives us 45 degrees, times the cos of, well, 80 minus 10 is 70 degrees, divided by 2 is 35 degrees. Now we know that the sine of 45 degrees is 1 over root 2, so we have 2 times 1 over root 2 times the cos of 35 degrees, so it's 2 over root 2, the cos of 35 degrees. Now we can put 2 over root 2 into our calculator, or we can just multiply above and below by root 2. And that gives us 2 root 2 over 2, or root 2. So we now have root 2 times the cos of 35 degrees, which is the right hand side. And now you'll need to pause the video and have a look at some questions. So we use the formula that we looked at the beginning of this video. They're in your tables as well, and do the 3 of these. Remember, it's a good idea to write the bigger angle first and then just write out the formula each time.